Greetings, Slackers. It's September 16th, 2016. And here's another article from RT.com. Hunger drives U.S. teens to swap sex for food, commit crimes, research. And I want to touch on this because right now, economically speaking, times are challenging. And so, being that times are challenging, you're going to see many things sort of rear their ugly head. They've always sort of been there, but this article sort of dives into something that's going on out here that I want to touch on, and I will come back to my point at the end. It says here that hunger is driving desperate U.S. teenagers as young as 13 to search for ways to feed themselves and their families, with many resorting to crime or providing sexual favors in exchange for food and basic supplies, according to a study published Monday. Researchers from the Urban Institute, a Washington-based economic and social policy research group, paired up with Feeding America, a U.S. network of food banks, in an attempt to find out how food insecurity affects teenagers. They created two focus groups, one male, one female, in the 10 poorest communities across the states, including those in major cities such as Chicago and Los Angeles, as well as in some rural towns. Researchers interviewed 193 boys and girls aged 13 to 18, all anonymously, over the course of 3 years, and were deeply concerned at the results. Quote, what emerged was a portrait of impossible choices imposed upon teenagers who are forced to transition into adulthood much too quickly, the report states. Quote, when faced with severe food insecurity, teens can begin to feel the weight of adult responsibilities, but like their parents, teenagers from low income communities have limited jobs available to them within their communities. It's in these moments of need when some teens make the choice to help their families stock the pantry by earning money outside of the legal economy. Teens at all of the 10 study locations told researchers numerous stories of how they themselves or some of their peers had committed minor crimes such as shoplifting or more serious offenses such as selling drugs in order to put food on the table. Many describe, quote, selling their body or sex for money as a way to get something to eat. Quote, often this takes the form of transactional dating, meaning a teen regularly sees and has sex with someone, often a significantly older man, in exchange for meals, material goods, or cash, researchers found. You're not even dating. A girl in Portland, Oregon is cited by the report as saying, they'll be like, I don't really love him, but I'm going to do what I have to do. A boy in rural North Carolina also described the strategy, saying, quote, when you're selling your body, it's more in disguise. Like, if I had sex with you, you have to buy me dinner tonight. That's how girls deal with the struggle. That's better than taking money because if they take money, they will be labeled a prostitute. The report also cites boys from Los Angeles who described how middle school girls give out flyers to advertise their sexual services, and a girl from Chicago who told researchers about an 11-year-old sixth grader who dropped out of school to work in the sex trade. That's much too young. Much too young. Senior fellow at the Urban Institute and lead author of the report, Susan Popkin, spoke to The Guardian about the findings. She said it was particularly disturbing that the majority of stories in all focus groups were those of girls swapping sex for goods. Quote, with the boys, there was a lot of hustling and shoplifting, or maybe stealing a car stereo or something small they could sell. Getting pushed into drug dealing, sometimes getting pulled into gangs. I find it particularly disturbing that all the kids in almost every focus group were aware about what was happening to the girls. They knew the story about girls dating older guys or being exploited. It's a sexual exploitation. To hear it from the Stabley House kids in the United States is shocking, and even if it's only a handful of kids, it should be something that we're paying attention to. That there are kids that desperate, Popkin told the newspaper. As a less common practice, they noted at 2 of the 10 locations researchers described cases when teens fail in school or get arrested intentionally, thus ensuring they will have continued access to food at a legal institution. Quote, it might not be the best food, might not be the best place to be, but it's a roof over your head. And every single day they eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. One teenage girl in Portland was cited as saying, researchers found that what they dubbed as food insecurity is widespread across the nation, along with strategies used by teens to tackle it. They claim that hunger is in many cases the root cause of teen crime and suggested educators and police should be trained to recognize the trauma experienced by teens who suffer from it, as they often hide this problem as they feel ashamed. But apart from a variety of recommendations for policy and practice, such as increasing nutrition assistance benefits and creating more and better youth job opportunities, researchers see tackling poverty across the U.S. as a main way to fix the problem. Quote, in the long term, the only way to end teen food insecurity is to address its root cause, family poverty, by improving access to jobs, providing better access to opportunity-rich neighborhoods, and strengthening the safety net when parents cannot earn enough to cover basic needs, the study concludes. So this article parallels other articles. Right now you have women who are looking for sugar daddies as they pay for their way through college, trying to get things like their rent or car note covered. And so the way the economy is set up, and some of this is just my opinion here that I'm putting in, but things are rigged. And so things are rigged and skewed in favor of those who are rich and economically empowered to take advantage of such situations. Why would women go to school looking for sugar daddies? And now, as you can see here, teenagers in cities across the country are forced into a position of where they have to trade a sexual favor in order to gain access to food or gain access to a roof over their head. This is really sad and it really shouldn't be going on, but this is a sign of the times that we're in. And so, for those of you out there who might be in that situation, rather than turning to giving up your body, it's my firm belief that if you have to resort to selling some type of service with your body, you're really in a bad position because those who have, let's just say, access to some sort of ability, some sort of skill that they can use and they can exploit that will always have an advantage over those who have to get on the corner and sell their bodies. But you have people out here who will take advantage of that, who are looking to exploit people. And so you might see this in some of the online dating sites as well because people figure, hey, I can reach out and I can touch people, I can meet others, and maybe it won't come across as quote unquote prostitution, but maybe I'll go out with this person and perform a favor for in exchange for a meal. So it's not really dating anymore, and it's not really meeting people with the intention of, taking things forward. It's just exploitation across the board. But what's your opinion on this? What do you think about this? Have you seen any of this going on around you? Do you know anyone who's engaging in this activity? Leave your thoughts and comments down below. And the link to this will be in the description box. That's going to do it for this article and this video. I'll catch you in the next one.